Hey guys, it's Kyle Summerford here, and we're back for another podcast episode for the Dental Office Managers community. And today I have the pleasure of introducing you to Ryan Bett.
Hey Kyle, how are you?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Ryan, I really appreciate you taking the time out. I know you're super busy with the meeting this weekend, which has been pretty awesome, by the way.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for making the time.
Yeah. So we are at the Speaking Consulting Network meeting. If you guys have not heard of the Speaking Consulting Network before, and you are a office manager or a consultant, you definitely need to check them out. I just became a new member, and so far I'm loving it.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, you got a great organization here.
Well, thank you so much. I think the story of the organization is really fantastic. Linda Miles, who did a lot for our industry back in almost 40 years ago now. She was one of the first main stage speakers that didn't have that title dentist after her name at some of the most well-known meetings across the country. And she really hustled. She would send handwritten cards to all these dental offices, inviting them to practice management seminars, and people were really inspired by her. And everyone asked, how do I get on stage? And so in 1996, she started Speaking Consulting Network. In 97 was her first meeting with, I believe, 11 people. We can fact check that.
Wow.
And now you see it here. We've grown to, well over 150 or so members. We've got partners. We've got meeting professionals, and it's just a great opportunity for us to really make a positive dent in dentistry and beyond.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely shows. So, in terms of, membership, right? If someone was looking to expand their network, as a dental office manager that maybe has something to share, maybe a side gig or something like that, what would be the first steps for this person to really kind of like say, hey, look, I'm looking for personal growth. And I just need a network of friends. Yeah,
there's two main ways to get involved with SCN. The first of which is you can attend the annual summit, which we're at now. Thanks for getting up so early before we had to start the day and I get on stage for the day. But the first is to attend the summit and just see what we do. It is definitely different than probably most meetings that anyone's been to. It's an event. It's a summit. It's really a time to hear from leaders beyond our industry. We heard from a renowned FBI hostage negotiator that helps produce TV shows. And today we're going to hear from a Broadway star turned TikTok sensation during COVID. So we bring really fun people that inspire us and help us to grow and be better, not just at dentistry, because we can go find that in a lot of places. But really at life as a whole and in leadership. So the annual summit's open to anyone. We had, speaking of office managers, we had, I think, like 30 come as a group last year, just office managers, not members, but they came to this event. Then we've got 12 other events a year, 10 virtual and 2 other in-person events that are members only. And that's really where, you're going to get the benefit as a member. But those are opportunities for you to really engage with fellow members, with partners, with media. And many of the speakers that you've seen on stage are in this room behind where we're sitting right now. And it's just an incredible opportunity because when you come here, I think, and I don't know if you're like me, but when you see someone on stage, you kind of put them on a pedestal. And when you come here, they'll talk to you like anyone else and they welcome you to the family.
Yeah, I've got that feeling. So, here mixing with everyone, it's just been a great experience overall. Everyone is so welcoming, which is, it's hard as a new member. You step into a room full of new people that you kind of know, but you don't really know personally. But it's been a great experience so far. And it's, I'm looking forward to really increasing, my self-worth, my self-value, my confidence. These are all things that I'm looking for in terms of growth. And I'm glad I was able to attend this meeting.
Well, I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah. So in terms of, leadership, you're one of the, I would like to say, a thought leader on leadership, right? So what advice would you have to maybe a dental office manager out there or a consultant on developing some skills for leadership?
Yeah, I'll share sort of what I shared from stage yesterday during my opening keynote. And the high level is you have to know where you're going and why you're going there. I think so many people, especially today with the ease of technology, making it easy to hop on a podcast anywhere in a hotel lobby or whatever it is. I think so many people are getting into this world of thought leadership and they don't know why. They know they want to be an influencer, be a thought leader, be a speaker, be a consultant, but they don't know why. And so I say strip it all the way back to why you're doing what you're doing. What is it that you do that gets you out of bed every morning? And is it if you're an office manager and you love crunching numbers and you love EOBs and you love insurance, then figure out how to help other people love that, because I don't think most people love that, but some do. We heard Colleen yesterday who loves it. Yeah. If you love managing those challenging team members that always come in late and have an excuse for everything, their dog ate their homework and that's why they're late to work, then maybe that's your calling. But whatever it is, for me, it's to inspire others towards a positive change. I want to take someone from point A whenever we interact for the first time. And even those listening today, like I hope that from point A when we started to when you finish and go to the next podcast or whatever else you're going to go to, from point B, you're at least a little bit better. Now, is that going to work 100% of the time? No, but that's my goal. That's my aim. And so I think the first piece of advice I'd give anyone in pursuing thought leadership, whether it's podcasts, online courses, membership communities, speaking, consulting, coaching, you name it, to really think about why you're doing what you're doing and why you start out on the journey in the first place.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's a lot of food for thought.
Thanks,
it's great. You inspire me. So I've done a little bit background, investigating on you. But one of the key things that really caught my attention was, work and life balance. Mm-hmm. And that is a struggle. Mm-hmm. It's a struggle. I struggle with it myself. I have for many years. And I'm still trying to develop myself and get better at it. And I see it in the community consistently. Yep. Office managers, consultants jumping in and, trying to juggle that work-life balance. So what advice would you have for work-life balance?
Yeah, I would say busyness kills business. Busyness kills business. It's that simple. And one of the things that I had to learn the hard way, I'll never forget, I was sitting, just like we're sitting here today with a good friend years ago. And he was like asking how many hours a week I worked. And I jokingly said like 80 to 100. And then doing the math calculations on how many hours I was spending working, 12 hours a day, almost 7 days a week, I wasn't that far off. And he kind of rolled his eyes at me. And I felt the need, and this was almost a decade ago now, I felt the need to continue to prove that my busyness was worth something. And so I was like, yeah. And I would send emails at 3:00 in the morning. And then when I got into a prominent leadership role, I would actually send emails intentionally at like 2:45 to see who else was going to AM and to see who else was working. And at some point in my life, I realized that busyness kills business. Like staying up, you're only productive so long. And obviously as you get older, some of that you're not able to do as much. And if you have family and other responsibilities. But what I learned was when I set clear boundaries, all of a sudden, I became more profitable and successful in every measure, personally and professionally, because I drew a line in the sand. It's like driving down the road, right? You've got the yellow double line on one side and the white line on the other side. Those are boundaries to keep us safe. If you're on a 2-lane road and someone's crossing that line, that's dangerous. Yeah. We talked about even aiming at a target yesterday. You can be off 1 inch and 50 meters with aiming at a target here, and 50 meters down the road, you can be over 50 feet away. Huge discrepancy. So, busyness kills business, and realize that you can say no to stuff. A no is a complete sentence, and no is an important word to say. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. I mean, saying no sometimes is a struggle, right? Yeah. Because when opportunities, show up, it's very hard to say, no, I can't do that because I'm busy with this, but I could see how, maybe trying to balance things would make you better for that specific opportunity, right? So in terms of, when it comes to the Speaking Consulting Network, mm-hmm. What type of what expectation should a new member expect, or what type of expectation should a new member have?
Yeah, I think if you're coming to visit at the summit, expect to have a good time, hear a lot of great speakers, and then you'll leave and go home, and you'll probably want more. That's usually what happens, which is good. But if you join as a member, here's where I like to give a huge disclaimer, not fine print. This is big yellow triangle in the middle of the page. The average thought leadership business takes between 3 and 6 years to get established. A lot of people think they're going to come to New Member Day, and it's an investment, and there's a reason we do that. They think they're going to come, and magically they're going to be on every stage. They're going to have an inbox overflowing with requests to consult, and that's not true. Most people don't see that in their first year. Most people don't see that in their first 2 years. And that's not to discourage you, but to say that any good thing takes work. I mean, if you're working in a dental office right now, how long did it take that dentist to get that DDS or DMD after their name? It wasn't just 4 years. It was many, many, many years before that got them to the 4 years. And then if they specialized or did residency or anything else, you're talking about 5 years before you could have the job that you have today. And so when people come, I always try to say, this is a great opportunity, but you got to put in the work. And it's there's no fast track, because I've seen people fast track their way to gain some sort of status in this industry or any other industry that I work with. And they get there for a year or two and they fizzle out while all their peers are actually starting to skyrocket. And so if you want a longevity, we celebrated awards last night, 20 years in this organization, 15 years in this organization with some of our members. Those are the people who now, the one that celebrated 20 years, I don't know how many employees she has, but she employs a ton of people that are speakers and consultants. And she has built an incredible business because she's put in the hard work. So new members come in with an open mind, even if you've done this before. We have CSPs, Certified Speaking Professionals, one of the highest recognitions of the National Speakers Association, that were in new member day, not because they don't know how to speak or run a speaking business, but because they realize that they have an opportunity to learn and to grow. If you come in with that mindset, you will be where you want to be in 3 to 5 years.
Cool. All right, man. Well, again, Ryan, I appreciate you coming on here, taking the time
absolutely.
out. And guys, I will share a link for the Speaking Consulting Network, so anyone in our community can check it out, learn more. And I signed up, and so far I'm loving it. Again, Ryan, thanks a lot. Appreciate you coming
Thanks
on.
so much, Kyle.
Take
Absolutely.
care. I know you're busy, so
Yeah.
we're going to cut it here.
Thank you. Appreciate
Okay.
it.
All right, man. Take care.